welcome back to Autism at Home, brought to you by us at Early Autism Project Malaysia through our non-profit initiative, the Hope Project. I am Joshebet Isaacs and thank you again for joining us. This is lesson 3 of our 30th series, which is all about puberty when it comes to children with autism. And today we'll be discussing the topic of periods, or more specifically, menstruation. Now, menstruation or having a period for the very first time is likely to be one of your daughter's biggest milestones during puberty. Periods are likely to start soon if your child has had a major growth spurt, grown most of their pubic hair and developed breasts, usually 12 to 18 months after that, and if you've noticed any new or extra vaginal discharge. It's important to prepare your daughter for her first period ahead of time and the fact that it'll be happening roughly every 28 days. Again, it can be tough talking to your child about periods. However, it is still very important for her to know what is going to happen in her body. This includes explaining to her what a period is and how often periods come, how much blood will come out, and how many days the bleeding is likely to start, whether periods hurt, and what she needs to use for her period. We would recommend pads or period panties as a start. Then how to use and dispose of those pads and period panties, and what to do if they get their periods away from home, whether they can swim or exercise during a period. It is also a good idea to show your child what pads and period panties look like, how to put them on, how to dispose of them. You might want to suggest that your child carries pads and period panties, and for example, they could just keep some in a small bag. Therefore, when it comes to periods, we need to teach our children with autism a few key things. Specifically, communication. Teaching our child all about periods, and we can do this through a social story. Teaching our child what to do when the period comes. We can use visual schedules for this. And then when the period is going to come and roughly how long it will last. We can teach this through a monthly calendar. And we would encourage that this is done even before puberty, just for clear communication to our kiddos. Then when it comes to personal care or specifically independence, teaching our child how to put on the pad or period panty, including disposing it off. And in the last lesson, we actually broke down the steps for wearing a bra. Similarly, parents can give it a go for breaking down the steps for wearing disposable period panties. Think through the process of putting on normal underwear. Firstly, hold the period panty open with both hands. Then put one leg into the waist opening and continue through the leg opening. Repeat the same for the other leg. Then put the period panty up. When the panty is full, tear the panty open at the sides. Remove and dispose it in the bin and replace with a new set of period panty. Don't forget to wash hands. Now, the plus side of a period panty is that it is way easier than putting on a pad. But the downside is that it can be easily confused with normal panties for some children on the spectrum. Therefore, some parents may prefer to teach a child how to wear pads right away. And we would of course recommend pads with wings to avoid leaks. So firstly, take an unopened pad and a pair of panties, put on the panties halfway, then open the pad and remove the stickers or the wings. Place the pad firmly on the panty with the bigger side towards the back and press down the wings. Pull the panty up. When the pad is full, it may be easier to just time the changing of the pad every few hours actually, but essentially take the paper towel, pull the panties down halfway, remove the pad, wrap it in a paper towel and throw it in the bin. Then replace with a new pad. Phew, that's a lot of steps, and we definitely encourage using a visual schedule. And using a forward or backward chaining strategy, which essentially means that we would just either teach our child the first step and then complete the rest of the routine, or we do all the routine first and our child just does the last step. Also, some children with autism may need this to actually be taught in a much more structured, broken down manner at the table. And independence in toileting would be a key prerequisite for this as well. And lastly would be the self-regulation of behaviors. Now, us ladies know how painful period cramps can be, and not to mention the emotional moodiness that some of us experience. And therefore, we need to be mindful that when your child's period is coming, they might experience some other physical symptoms, including sore breasts and abdomen, back or legs, getting some pimples or greasy hair, feeling sick, and some even have some diarrhea. So some ways to help your child manage these symptoms are taking pain medication, including anti-inflammatory medicines, maybe putting a hot water bottle on their lower stomach, maybe walking or other light exercise, eating smaller meals to just reduce that stomach swelling and soreness, resting, relaxing even with their legs elevated, lying on one side with knees bent, lightly massaging their lower abdomen, maybe having warm drinks like hot milk or herbal teas. Now it's your turn. Prepare for periods. Purchase those period panties, pads, as well as paper towels for disposal, and organize these in the bathroom. Do ensure there's a dustbin there as well. Then do prepare your visuals, specifically a social story, monthly calendar, a visual routine schedule of wearing pads, and lastly, even a visual choice board for when it comes to pain management and self-regulation. Then start pre-teaching. We can always start teaching about periods earlier and even start practicing wearing pads so that our kiddos can be more prepared for when that time comes. Well, that's it for this lesson, and we hope that this was helpful. Do let us know in the comments if you have any other tips and strategies that have worked for you. And do stay tuned for the next lesson as we tackle the topic on using deodorant. Thank you very much for joining us today, and please do not hesitate to contact us if you need more personalized support. With the amount of interest we have received online, we have actually started providing international online services and have worked over the years with clients in other states of Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, Philippines, China, Kuwait, New Zealand, and Switzerland. So do get in touch with us for more information by scanning this QR code. And if you haven't already, do check out our online resource platform, Autism at Home, which has all the lesson videos, corresponding articles, and downloadables available for you at an extremely nominal donation of just $1 a month. So do stay updated through our social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, and especially Instagram. Do click on the subscribe and follow buttons to get more information. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you very soon.